Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and invited guests.
Good evening.
Has anyone here heard of the movie The Truth About Cats and Dogs?
No. Yes.
Well, for those of you who do know, you must also know that the movie actually has very little to do with cats or dogs and has everything to do with the love lives of three of their main characters. Now, I want you to just forget about what I just told you about the movie and let me give you the synopsis of my version of the story. A series of unfortunate events force a young girl, a young lady, to go looking for her cat all by herself. Now, while her mission shows less than favorable results, she meets several interesting characters that help her find out and learn that there are three things about people. That firstly, people are strange. And secondly, that people are kind. And thirdly, that people are resilient. Now, as you can tell, I am the young lady in this story, so let me begin by telling you how I had my first realization that people are indeed strange. And by people, I mean myself. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I have had a love-hate relationship with cats for as long as I can remember. They are messy, they're pushy, and they're always hungry. Now, over the last year, my family has managed to acquire 7 cats. So you can imagine that my resentment for cats has only grown over the past few months. Now, out of the 7, one cat in particular, Guillermo, also known as Momo, has given us the biggest and smelliest of problems. Now, Momo is a Bengal cat. That means he's also the most beautiful cat in our house. He also happens to be the youngest. One look from this cat and one touch of his furry little paw is sure to melt the hardest of hearts. As you can tell, he won over the hearts of everyone in my house, even this resentful heart of mine. Now, unfortunately, 2 weeks ago, I let him out one morning, and he hasn't returned. Now, my initial reaction when I first realized he was gone was hopeful. I thought, he'll be back in a few hours. He'll just come waltz in the kitchen door. That's fine. But after a while, I realized he wasn't coming back, and I panicked. I panicked because I lost him on my watch. I panicked in anticipation of my parents' rage. Now, this is what I find really strange. Some people, and by people I still mean myself, cannot seem to decide what they're feeling. Is it love? Is it hate? Is it courage? Is it guilt? Is it really hope? Or is it just plain denial? Did I go out looking for the cat because I really cared for it? Or was I merely driven by my guilt or my fear? Was I really hopeful that he would come back? Or was I half relieved that there was one less cat to look after in the house? Now, amidst all this inner conflict, I also managed to get into a bit of a fight with my sister, who was just as taken in the cat as everybody else in the house. Now, since I upset her with my foolish behavior, she refused to go on my cat search party, so I ended up looking for Momo all on my own. And of course, doing that on my own, I had to battle with the inner voices in my head that was having conversations with me about self-doubt and blame. That went on for a while, until something wonderful happened. Somewhere along Jalan 99 and Jalan 60, I had my second realization, that people are kind. First it happened when I got a phone call from a friend of mine who wasn't necessarily the most closest person to me, but when she heard that I was in distress, she came to my aid. She could have done anything with her time that afternoon, but she chose to help me. And secondly, and I was going around with my posters of Momo and with my details under there, people were really accommodating and letting me put up these posters of Momo all around, their house compounds and their shops. I thought that was really kind of them. And what was even more remarkable was that everyone I met during the search showed so much empathy. They didn't even express, even if they probably secretly thought, that my mission was petty or was doomed for failure. Now, as encouraging as that day went, I still came home to 6 cats and still a very angry sister. And it wasn't until I told her and explained to her that there was still hope to find Momo that she finally warmed up to me again. And that's when I had my third realization, that people are resilient. No matter how devastating the loss of a person or a beloved pet or a favorite thing, people will find a way to deal with it. No matter how hard or no matter how difficult it is to deal with guilt, people are going to find a way out of it and move on with their lives. In other words, people are going to deal with things the best way that they know how, and some might find the productive route, while others may deal with things in less healthy ways, with escape or denial, blame. The truth is, people are so beautifully complicated, and so is life. And everyone is on their own journey. Some might be confused, some might be really sure of themselves, while others are okay just finding out who they are. And one thing's for certain, we're all living life the best way that we can. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The truth about cats and dogs. It has nothing to do with cats or dogs, but it's really just me doing what I can. Thank you.